Hi.
Good afternoon. We are celebrating First Gen Day, right? This is the second year that we are doing this national celebration. We started in 2017 when NASPA, the National Association of Student Personnel, and the main TRIO Association, the Council for Educational Opportunities, they joined forces and they decided to let's do the first generation celebration. So as we are having this activity right now here at FIU, many institutions of higher ed, they're doing different types of celebrations around the country. So that is very important also when sharing pictures and other social media to put the hashtag first gen celebration, so you can then see later on all the pictures and all the different celebrations that they're doing nationwide. Okay, but FIU is very proud. Here we have many programs that work together to assist first generation students. We have five TRIO programs. I mentioned before, if you have seen the video, I mentioned we have two upper bound programs, the math and science and the regular one. We have student support services. We have the McNair program, and we have ETS, Educational Talent Search. So all those TRIO programs, they join forces with the University at Large Scholarship Program that I know many of you are scholarship recipients, and also Student Access and Success. That unit have different type of programs also that help first generation here at the university. And of course, multicultural programs and services, which is where my program SSS is host. So the day of celebration, you have gathered information from the different units here, the different programs, and now we have invited FIU alums. They're coming back back home, and they're gonna share some of the experiences with us. But first, I would like to introduce three of our students, and those students are gonna just tell us a little bit about themselves and what are their career goals, and they're gonna be introducing our speakers. So I'm gonna introduce Samantha. Say hi. Samantha Fernandez. She's a McNair scholar, and she is a student majoring in genetics. We also have, through Samantha, we have Tori Scott. She's a junior student majoring in fine arts, and she's gonna be also doing some introductions. And we have Kelly Rojas, another McNair student, biomedical engineering, and she's gonna be introducing Mr. Gomez. So just briefly, I wanna at least hear from the students first, some reflections on what is to be a first generation and what are career goals. Let's start with Samantha.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're well. So, I am a senior student studying molecular biology and genetics. I do research on campus, and it's a blessing every day because I'm just fascinated by the science and how it helps me to understand how nature works, how our body works, and it is really a blessing. And it's been a blessing to attend university since my parents never got the chance to, and they've encouraged me along the way, and I'm so lucky to have them with me. And I'm also so lucky to have all the support I have, including Dr. Cruz, Dr. Mora, the SSS services, Dr. Mirzawan, through the McNair program, and I've enjoyed my university experience. And I hope to go on to graduate school and continue many more adventures. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. Tori.
Hello, so I am a part of the fine arts program, and I plan to, I guess, have a career in painting or photography. I'm not really sure, but this is my third year being in a trio program, and I hope to continue to progress in my education and just do the best that I can because I know that a lot of people in my family didn't have the same opportunity that I have. So just want to make my parents proud.
Thank you, Tori. Kelly.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly. I'm a biomedical engineering major. I'm also a four-year student. And being a first generation has been challenging for me. I came from Venezuela in 2009, so no one in my family has ever attended university in the United States. Joining the Student Support Services program has been life-changing because I've gotten to network with different students and also build a support group, which now I can call my little family at FIU. If you, well, since you're all like younger, don't think that you cannot do it. Like you can actually get to complete your degree when you're older, and just keep pushing forward, and you get there. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. In terms of a format, now the students will do some introduction to the panelist. And I was told also for our colleagues at BBC, I know that you can hear us and see us, but if you have to make some questions, you can text those to Isabella, and Isabella at the end will come here to the podium and address those questions. So let's start with Samantha in doing Dr. Lewis' introduction.
So today I have the honor of introducing Dr. Tamika Lewis, and she's a three-time graduate student from FIU, where she got her bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's degree in education, and a doctorate degree in curriculum instruction. And she's currently the director of the Children's Services of the United Community Options of Florida. And she hopes to develop educational programs that have a positive and a very large potential impact for young students. And Dr. Lewis, thank you so much for joining our panel, and I know we have much to gain by learning from your experiences.
Sorry.
So today I will be presenting Arlene Tor. As a first generation student, Tor graduated from FIU with a dual marketing and public relations communications degree in 2000. While at FIU, she played beach volleyball and was a part of the Honors College and was a member of Phi Sigma Sigma sorority. And after Tor began her career in acting and modeling, she even hosted shows for Discovery Channel, the Travel Channel, and several others.
Thank you.
I also have the honor to present Juan Carlos Gomez. He got a MBA from FIU, and he's currently the senior project manager of Wellington Construction Group. Wellington Construction Group is a no-nonsense contractor firm that aims to start work and complete construction projects within budget and on schedule. He received 2 degrees from FIU. He received 2 degrees from FIU. As a student, he participated in the ROTC program in 2004 after serving the U.S. Army from 1999 to 2002. He also worked as an adjunct professor at FIU in the summer semesters of 2016 and 2017. And I'm glad to have you here also.
Thank you, Kelly. And to all the panelists, welcome home. Right? I would like to start maybe start now with Mr. Gomez. What does being a first generation mean to you?
Well, can everybody hear me? Yes. All right. So to me, both times that I graduated from FIU were pinnacles of change in my life, and I really mean that. The first time I graduated was in 2004. After being in the active duty Army for some time, I came into the ROTC program here in FIU, and it was between here and Florida State. And I came back here because I'm from here. And after, I remember that when I graduated, what a profound difference it made in not just in my academic life, but in everything, right? In my career, I became a lieutenant in the Army, and I got to enjoy a great career in the Army. But it was a big deal because of the things that you were talking about, right? and maybe many of you are going through the same thing where, I remember how daunting it felt to try to get a bachelor's degree. To me, it seems so challenging and impossible, right? And I honestly couldn't believe. In fact, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you something. I didn't know I graduated until I was walking. One of my professors told me I had passed her class. Right, I was walking up to the stage, and then I knew I'd actually graduated. Right, but I remember that moment. Like, what a big deal, it was life altering. And then years later, as I was getting ready to exit active duty and come out to the private sector in Wellington, which is a company that I run with some other partners, I had the MBA by then. And so then it was again that FIU had come and changed my life. And honestly, I wasn't going to be a member of Wellington. I was going to go work for a bank. The school had really lined me up with some really great interviews with companies, and I had a really bright future ahead of me. Again, right, just because of this university. So then, I think that's what it is. It changes your life, right? What you do here, the people that you meet here, and the things that you accomplish here, uh, you'll never stop benefiting from, right? And that's why I'm here, right, to come back and tell you, hey, listen, this is going to change your life. There's going to be these days that all of us go through while we're in this struggle that are so difficult and challenging that you think that you'll never make it through. But listen, keep on pushing until the minute you walk into that stage, because it's going to change your life. So to me, that's what happened, right? I'm also I'm not an immigrant. I was born here in the United States, but my entire family is from Ecuador, and we came, of course, with nothing, just like everybody else who shows up here. But let me tell you that the education that you receive here and the sort of experience that you gain from having to go through the struggle of being the first time person going to college. Nobody's advising you, right? Your parents don't know anything about financial aid. They just can't guide you on, hey, what major to go to. All these different things that you're sort of navigating on your own. It's uncharted territory, perhaps, for your families. It was for me anyway. But the university had a way of providing that guidance that really just, to me, I see it in my Social Security thing, right? It changed from the day I graduated till today. It never went back. So it's life altering, I think. It's like a springboard that just never stops propelling you forward. So that's what it means to me. I mean, I could talk about this for hours and hours, but everything that I did in my career in the Army, I gained at FIU. The company that I run right now is successful because of the MBA that I have from FIU. I mean, that tells you a lot. I employ 62 people, and large in part because of the things that I learned here in the School of Business. So those are profound events, I think, and they're things that really, you sitting here, you're no different from me, right? You're just me, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever, maybe 20, I don't know, 30.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez, and also thank you for your service.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hi, everyone. How's everybody doing? Good. Yeah. How's everybody doing? Yay. Okay, good. Well, I'm very happy to be here. And for me, being first gen is I'm eternally grateful to my parents, my family, because they were immigrants and I was born in the States. So not only am I first gen to go to college, I'm first gen American. And I thought that it was such a blessing, and I was so lucky to actually get to go to college, and despite they couldn't help me as well. So you have to kind of go on your own and navigate and do everything on your own sometimes. But because of the school and now all the added resources they have, you have a great help, which we didn't have as much as what I've been told now. Everything that you guys have, you must use, because there is so much help and so many resources and people that are there to give that to you. But for me, being first gen was just that I had to push harder, and I had to be thankful to my parents for giving me the opportunity. So I'm incredibly appreciative, and I feel like it makes you a stronger person because you feel like you accomplished something on your own, obviously because of your parents and because of whatever put you in that position. But you just got to stand out even more. And it's a blessing, and I really congratulate all you guys because it's going to be a really fun adventure.
Thank you.
Okay, so what does first generation mean to me? First generation means I'm a cycle breaker. I come from a household where my mom dropped out of high school and my father was a drug dealer in Liberty City. We were on welfare and we lived in low income housing or the projects. Um, there were many a nights in our house where we went to sleep without food. There were many a nights we came home and we had no lights or water. And so us getting to school, my siblings and I, was a huge task. Um, if you'd asked me in eighth or ninth grade if I planned on going to college, the answer was going to be no, because I knew that my family could not afford that. But what was interesting throughout my entire childhood, my mother always said, when you go to college. And I always thought every time she said it, I ain't going to no college. You can't even put food on the table. How I'm going to college? Now, mind you, I said I thought that because I would never say that to my mama. I never understood how she was so confident about the fact that we were going to college. My mother spoke that into existence for me. And so how I came to FIU was on academic scholarships. I was 15th in a class of 437 kids. I went to Miami Jackson Senior High. What? Speak it, girl. Hey, now let me get myself back together. That was a code switch moment. Let me switch it back. So I went there and I was 15th out of 437 kids. And so you think, okay, if you're 15th and you're in the top 10%, oh my God, you must be pretty smart. I got to FIU and I had no clue. You know, the cream of the crop at, if you're the 15th and 400, you're the cream of the crop. Yes. Yeah. Replace that O with an A. And that's what I realized, that I was the cream of something completely different because my educational opportunities were completely different than those of the kids that I was going to school here with. I came here in stuck in my throat. 1990? Is anybody else 1990? Bring it, girl. Okay, that's just bad. And it typically takes you 4 years to finish. My mom thought I graduated. Do not tell her this. In 1994, like I was supposed to. I didn't, but I still left and moved out the dorms and acted like I did. And I had to take one more class the next semester, so I graduated in 1995. I still don't have a copy of that degree. I still do not have a copy of my bachelor's degree. I have my master's hanging on the wall and my PhD, and I still do not have a copy. Like 4 years ago, I called FIU and said, hey, I'm going to need a copy of my degree. And they said, oh, come do so and so and so and so. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get my degree. But anyway, it was a cycle broken for me. I have 2 kids now. One of them is here at FIU. She's in the dual enrollment program. That's right. And she's going to be joining this family, if all goes as planned, in the fall. And her sister is already in her junior year in Vermont. And so that, for our family, first generation coming to college, changed our trajectory. In addition to that, it has allowed me to set systems in place for a group of children who fight me day in and day out about getting their education, who the majority of them will also be first generation. And that's what it means to me.
Yeah. Thank you. And you will come to college, right? Yes? Yes. All right. I wanted to hear, I know you mentioned family. One of the things that you mentioned is I have no clue when the doors of the university were open. I'm here, and now what? Can you mention at least one resource, one office that was helpful to you while you were here at FIU at those times? And also, I would like for my students also to join the conversation, at least one resource that was available to you that was helpful in moving forward, in navigating the waters. Let's start with Dr. Lewis.
I don't know if it's still around, the Black Student Union.
Yeah?
Yeah. What? Y'all rocking and rolling? Thought y'all was gone. It was the Black Student Union. They were an excellent resource for us. But also mental health, where was that? I don't know. But there we had the opportunity to like go to talk to somebody when you having a breakdown because it was unfamiliar.
All right.
It was unfamiliar territory. And so there was a lot of stress for not just me, but my roommate. She was crazy too. I want to tell y'all. But the other resources were my peers, were my classmates, were my dorm, what do you call them? Roommates. So they were excellent resources, but BSU really got us through, but they also connected us to other resources.
Network.
Yeah, network. Yeah, so that was for me.
Thank you. Samantha.
So let me tell you about an angel named Dr. Cruz. So it's actually funny how I found SSS. I just needed tutoring. That's what I wanted. I just was looking for tutoring. I didn't need help with anything else. That's what I thought. Boy, was I wrong. So I had a difficult class. I needed tutoring, and I went to Google FIU tutoring. What did I find? First link, SSS. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll sign up. I go to the meeting. There's Dr. Cruz. She's saying, okay, yes, we have tutoring, but in addition to tutoring, we have all these advising. We have assistants. That changed my life. Without Dr. Cruz, without her guidance, I would not be where I am today. I would not be in McNair program, and I would not be continuing to my PhD. So thank you, Dr. Cruz. You are such a savior. You really changed my life. So yes, one thing I can advise is if you need something, Google is there for you. But more than that, the people who are here to support you will support you, and they will do it even more than that. They will become your family and your guidance. So thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. And many of the offices are here around the table. And I'm sure, especially for FIU students, you have Student Active and Success, you have Multicultural Programs and Services. All the people right there in the back, they're here to help you. Tori.
For me, I would say it was the Golden Scholars. I joined in the summer of 2016, and it was SSS and also CAP for counseling and just doing like workshops. You learn different things, financial, budgeting, and yeah.
Thank you, Tori.
For me, it was definitely the Honors College. So thank you, Dean and Dean. Thank you. The Honors College was excellent. They really let you explore. We were allowed to come up with our own curriculum and really explore about what we were curious about at the time. We took a summer trip that totally blew my mind, and it was really revolutionary for me doing this out of college, and it was one of my first years. So that and playing sports, volleyball was really meaningful, not only because of what we gained and the travel and how much discipline it takes, because I mean, college sports, competing on that level, always it takes a lot of discipline and practice, and that's kind of what you need also to be successful in school and in life, really. So also along with sports comes your teammates. You have a good group of people that stick by you, that have a similar goal, and then you become even more unstoppable.
Thank you.
For me, it was the Student Support Services program. I've been part of the program since freshman year. I'm also promoting the program today in the back. So the program provides mentoring, workshops, advisors like Dr. Cruz. I'm also part of the McNair program like Samantha. I did 2 years already. And well, I learned about McNair program through the SSS program. And I'm hopefully, I'm planning to get a PhD later on also.
Very good.
And I'm happy that I found them.
Mr. Gomez.
So, it's not fair that I went first because the doctor had more time to prepare her opening statements. Okay, so then I'm going to backtrack a little because I want to just let her know that I graduated also from high school in the 90s and 91.
Okay.
And my brother graduated from Jackson in 82.
What? All them generals ruling in.
They're moving up. So So then there's the disconnect, right? 91, and I didn't graduate from college until '04. Then I also realized that you said we're going to college. Does that mean there's high school students in here? Are you guys high school students? Who's a high school student? Raise your hand. All right, good. And who's already in college? All right. So there's a mix. All right, good. That's great. Now I can tailor my thoughts a little bit better to understand who. Because I did think I was like way, way older than you guys when I started looking at you. Look, to the high school kids, right? Excuse me, to the high school student, right? I think your number one ally right now is the people you see every single day, right? Who's that? The teachers, right? The professors that are in your school right now. That profession doesn't pay very well. So that means that those folks that are there, they're there for different reasons, and they're not economic. They're because you're there to try to make a difference. And look, these teachers, they can make a difference in every single student's life. It's impossible, right? But they hone in on a student that shows that they want to get educated, right? And so then what's your role? What's your job? Your job is to show that teacher, whichever teacher you think is the best for you, all right, that you have the best fit, to show them that you're that student, that you're the one that really wants to progress and get ahead. Remember I said I didn't know I graduated to the last minute, to that teacher waited for me there. Look, that teacher waited for me there. Right? She doesn't have to either. Doesn't have to go to the graduation. It's that connection that you make with people that really matters most, right? And in high school, I think that your teachers are your number one allies. They got to write you the letters of recommendation and such, right? They can also provide guidance. In college, in the bachelor's level, for me, it was professors. It was not only professors, but I went through Army ROTC. It's the only way I was able to go to school because I couldn't afford it. So Army ROTC provided the money, and of course the discipline and sort of guidance to get through the program. Because in ROTC, you have to provide every semester your plan and every semester your grades. And if you don't follow the plan, then there's consequences, right? So that was great for me because I was able to keep on track and graduate on time. But then, there's a bunch of students that are already in college, right? So then I think that those professors will serve you well because there's a ton of resources in this university. You said it, right? It's true. Right? These folks that are here right now and there's all the different programs that are available is just a gold mine for you. There's no reason why you can't come here and just, take it by storm, unless you don't want to. But for me in grad school, right, the career development office was key. I was still in the Army on active duty back then, and I didn't know which way to go in terms of the private sector. I'd been in the Army for a long time. I didn't know where to go. And that career development office, I see somebody's here from that, and I think you're for the general school, right? All majors, not just School of Business, right? Okay, so that table over there, for if you're already in school, you got to start connecting with those people, right? Because they have all of the resources for what's next. And see, look, if you're sitting here, you're a leader, right? If you're sitting here, you're already a leader because you're saying to yourself and you're saying to your peers in your community that I'm here because I want to do something different. I want to do something that is difficult. I want to do something that takes so much effort that most people don't do it. That means you're a leader. Well, leaders connect with other leaders and they learn how to do it little by little. And I envy you, right? I wish I was you sitting in that chair at the same age because you're really in the right place. So to wrap up, because I always talk so much, find the mentors that you see are in it for something more than money, right? Find those mentors that are in it for the principles, for the values, for like the things that you can never touch, the intangibles, right? Those are the people that are going to truly impact your life. For me, it was a guy named Wally Gallart here at FIU ROTC. He literally pulled me out of the 82nd Airborne and brought me here through the Army ROTC scholarship. I still keep in touch with him. It's been, I don't know, 20 years. I don't know how long it's been, but I love that man, right? I know he is. Yeah, I know. So you know who he is, right? Yeah, I'm on Facebook friends with him.
And the kids are like,
Yeah.
what? What?
I know.
Yeah, Facebook.
We're Snapchat friends. No. So that's what it is. To me, it's mentors. And I believe so much in mentorship that I mentor here at the university, right? And you'll see, I can guarantee you that nobody here who's already in their professional world doesn't mentor somebody because that's what's key. Learn how to mentor by being a mentee right now while you're young. And then in the future, when you're sitting up here, give back and you pull people up. That's how it works.
Thank you. To my panelists, what are 3 tips? Obviously, you're very successful in your own areas. What are 3 tips? Each of you can give 3 tips to the students that make you the successful person that you are today. Traits, skills that you have, and how do you gain them? You can start.
For me, I was a huge, I took pride in being a huge nerd. I did. I was like, I'm a nerd, I swear. I wanted to get straight A's since I was very young. If I saw a B, I would freak out. I'm like, what? My parents were like, calm down. They helped me to, they said, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. And I was for me, that was something that I think you need to succeed and come to the cream of the crop, because you don't have the support necessarily, or your parents don't necessarily know how to help you or give you all the resources that other families may have. My parents were clueless. I mean, they barely spoke English, and they're like, "Are you studying too much?" And I was like, "Oh." So I would say, really, just really pay attention to your grades, and also getting close to the people that are willing to help you and want to make a difference and pull you up, that are really looking to nurture people around them. And yes, you also learn how to mentor that way, which is ultimately what we should all be doing, right? Paying forward. And what else? I would say also, practice makes perfect. Like discipline, never give up. Because there's going to be hard days, and there's days that you said, I can't believe I'm doing this, and I feel this way today, I just can't do it today. But be ready that those days will come, and that you will get up, and the day will also go away. And the sun goes down, and then you have a new day. And even if you have a hiccup here, everybody falls. Just keep going and stay focused. Because even in my career, for example, it is nonstop work, and you see the fruits very sporadically and seldomly sometimes. It's not like you're always working, no matter how hard. So you really have to stay at the top of your game. So those are my 3, and I wish you guys all luck, because you can all do it. I'm not giving up. Just focus. Focus.
Thank you.
I guess I can go. Do something. Like, really do something. No, work hard. I talk to my kids about it all the time. That it's anything worth having is not going to come easily. It's not, for the most part, going to just fall in your lap. I played the lottery like 2 weeks ago, and I lost.
Oh.
And it's the first time I played my entire life, but I was almost certain I was going to win this time. Because I feel like every now and then something that you want should just fall in your lap, because it doesn't. Most times it doesn't. I worked hard. Like I explained before, when I got in, my first paper I wrote was garbage. I could not construct a paragraph. My roommates that came to the room, and I was crying, and they didn't understand my paper. They told me my paper was garbage, but I took honors English. And they stayed up all night with me, helped me rewrite a paper. And it took me about a year and a half to learn how to write a decent paper. And it just had to be done. And I knew that it was going to have to come from me wanting it. The second tip is want something. Do something and want something. Want something. Find whatever it is you're passionate about and go for it. And for the younger folks, you may not know what that is, but just try to wake up each day and be passionate about the fact that you have that day. And lastly, enjoy it. I think I probably work 70 hours a week. Is that right, Skylar? This is the one that's going to go to FIU, guys. This is the one that's in the dual enrollment program. I probably work 70 hours a week, and I derive a great deal of joy and pleasure from it. One of the constant battles I'm having with my supervisor is, you should take some time off. No, that's boring. I'm going to work. I love work because it is my passion. It is my dream. It is my reason for being on this planet. And I fought it for years. When I majored in psychology, I thought, because I'm going to say little churn, from crazy. And then to have a master's and a PhD in education, I did not want to teach. Why would I teach? I don't even like children. Am I right, guys? I don't like children, right? Right. I like legitimately don't like children, but I do thank you. Very good. I love them. I just don't like them. That is possible. So
yes, it is.
But I'm passionate about it. Sometimes too passionate because the expectations are so high. And one of the adjustments that I'm having to make is recognizing that there's a difference between having high expectations and high standards and then just being completely ridiculous. Right, guys? So that's part of where I am. But find joy in whatever it is you're going to do or whatever you're doing right now.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Mr. Gomez.
There's a retired officer from the Navy. He's a Navy SEAL named Admiral McRaven. You guys ever heard of him? Probably not. He gave a commencement speech a few years ago in University of Texas. And when you graduate, somebody comes and says some things, right? Well, Admiral McRaven's speech was about when he was in BUDS, which is Basic Underwater Diver School, where the Navy SEALs become Navy SEAls. And anyway, the takeaway from that speech was the way to get through these difficult things like Navy SEAL school is to start with one thing. And his one thing was, to make your bed, right? Start off in the morning, making your bed. And he said that, well, the reason you want to do that is because if you make your bed, then you start off the day by completing a task, and then you go on and complete another one, and then another one. And all of a sudden, you've completed a bunch of tasks. And if it just so happens that you had a terrible day, when you come home, you have a bed that was made by you, and your bed is nice and go to sleep, right? I love that because it falls in line with one of my favorite philosophies, which is to keep it simple, right? Life is super complicated and it just very complicated. And the older you get and the more involved life becomes, it just becomes very difficult to keep it simple. But you can, if you try to keep it simple, do that, right? I think that for me, keeping it simple means always trying to maintain true to a certain a group of values, right? Which I think everybody should have. For one, I think that to get through this process, and if you want to be truly successful, never compromise your integrity. That is key. Because it doesn't matter where you come from, where you are in the world, or what situation you're in, your integrity is completely controlled by you, always. So if you don't ever compromise it, all right, then you have a place to stand from. And it is such a simple concept. And it will always get you through. The other one, I'm going to echo the young lady to my right, your left. Never, ever quit, right? I had a drill sergeant in basic training named Drill Sergeant McKnight. I love that guy now. I really hated him then. And he always picked on me. I always thought he picked on me anyway, but I guess he liked me. That's the way they show that you love people in the Army. And he would always say, maintain what you got and drive on with the mission. And I never understood what he was talking about at the time, right? But when I went to war, I got what he meant. Because sometimes when you're in the middle of stuff, all right, whether it's a battle or life, some things are going to break down. So the only thing you can do is maintain what you got, whatever that is. And sometimes it's your looks. See, I couldn't maintain those. So I maintain what I got. I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And I drive on with the mission day in and day out. This is an absolute fact. And just like you, my kids will echo that, right? Because I'm super drill sergeant-like with them. But I believe in that. So make your bed, because your dad's going to come and check on your bed. Well, at least if you're my kid, I'm going to come check to see if you made your bed every single morning. It never stops. Make your bed every morning or whatever that means to you. Make your bed. Keep it simple. Don't compromise your integrity ever. In fact, I'll start with don't compromise your integrity, and I'll end with don't compromise your integrity. And then I will always believe in this and never, ever give up. I never talked about where my family's from, except I told you they're from Ecuador. But I'll tell you this. My mom's uneducated. My mom has got a third grade education because my grandfather didn't believe in educating women. All right. That's how I know Gabby, because I'm working on something because of this. So my grandfather was really intelligent because he had mostly daughters. Right. So he didn't educate women, had mostly daughters, had 13 legitimate kids and 20 some odd total, right, of kids. But so then the girls didn't get an education. And my mom, to get out of that situation, because it was a bad situation for her, married my dad, who was an engineer. And they moved to Germany and then eventually to the United States. But here in the United States, my dad wasn't an engineer, right? He was a factory worker. Well, 3 years into it, he dies and leaves her alone. So there, she's in the United States, no education, no money, and of course, no English. And we were living in New York back then. So I guess for me, that no quit thing doesn't just come from the army. It really comes from watching this woman work in anything, right? That was like, I always, this gets, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, anyway, I never saw her quit, right? So I don't quit, and you don't quit.
Here you have panelists that have been authentic and transparent in giving you this advice and in how family really is important to them. I know that later we did a switch with one of the students. One engineering student have to go to take classes, and another engineering student,
Hey!
came.
I thought she grew a beard all of a sudden. I just didn't want to mention it.
So I want to also hear some of the advice that current students at FIU have to offer, at least one or two tips to the students that are here. But first, I would like for Albert to do a brief introduction of who is he and the things that he's involved at FIU.
My name is Albert Jimenez. I'm currently a biomedical engineering student. I'm pretty much involved with like multiple things on campus, whether it's alternative breaks, SSS, Engineering Without Borders, and many others. Because the advice that I want to give everyone is to not give up, like throughout, like when you're studying, things get very hard. However, sorry. Things do get very hard, but you can't let that stop you from making your goal. It, as cheesy as it sounds, like you can't stop because something gets hard. You have to keep on going, and as you keep on going, things will eventually get to where you want to be. It might not happen at that moment, but it will happen in a future date, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you, Albert. Sorry.
So 3 tips that I would give. Number 1 is ask questions. It's always good to ask questions. Number 2, get involved, whether it's like internships, because for example, I intern at the Frost Museum because I'm an art major. So just join like an internship or a program or a club. And then number 3, I would say just make the best of your experience here at FIU or any college.
So it's been mentioned that sometimes things will get difficult, but I think it's also really important to understand that yes, things get difficult and we all have to push through, but it's important to ask for help. Sometimes things get too tough for one person to handle, and it's really important you reach out to those people who care about you. Even somebody new can help you out. And everybody is a resource. Somebody knows something that you don't know, and it's okay. Nobody knows everything. So ask for help, reach out. And another point is to, I say this because it's funny, but stay hydrated. Your health is very important. No matter how much you achieve, how close you get to your dreams, if your health is not a priority, then you might not get to do it. So please take care of your health I have personal experience with this. So, very important. Drink your water, eat right, and take care of your mental health as well.
Thank you, Samantha. That's very important. And FIU is a large institution, about 50,000 students. In many of them, about, and I know I have John in the back, but about 60% of the students at FIU are first generation. So you're not alone in this adventure and in this journey. Okay, you have many people, even mentors. Sometimes they came in different shapes. They can be faculty and staff, like they have mentioned in the panel, but also they can be senior students, junior students. So make a point of meeting other students and have conversations. Um, I wanted to offer last opportunity to all the panelists and the alums. Thank you for taking time of your busy schedule to be here with us today. But I wanted to at least give you an opportunity to do last reflections about the celebrating of the first generation and anything that you wanted to share with the students. And then I will give an opportunity to the audience for questions. Who's going to start?
It's
Dr.
not allowed
Lewis
to
or
leave early.
Gomez?
You're not allowed to leave early.
She's like, I'm out of here. Bye. Okay.
Arlene?
I just want to remind everybody to be proud of yourself. You know, it's not like you are actually taking on the challenge. You are taking a step forward and said, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to do it. And be proud of yourself and really just enjoy it. Because I know we're talking about a lot of heavy stuff, like, stay healthy. It's going to be really hard. Oh my goodness. But you have to really enjoy it and have fun. Because I really have to tell you, I never wanted to leave. When I graduated, I remember the picture I took with the president that gives you the diploma was like this. Everybody's like, yay! And I was like, no. I wanted to stay studying and stay in school forever because I love to learn, and it was just a wonderful environment. So really enjoy it. Enjoy everything you have. Enjoy the outdoors. Think about all the positive and beautiful things that you have that come along with it, and really be proud of yourself for where you are, and just do your best. And people will come alongside you, and you can always get help. And if they see you that you are driven, people tend to always want to help. I mean, people, especially that are in this environment. So it's not that bad. It's not so scary. Just enjoy yourself and make it fun as well. Be proud of yourself that you are where you are. Thank you.
I mean, I echo the sentiment. I think for me, it's for the people that I work with, it is break the cycles, because I know what we are and where we are. Break the cycles.
Yeah, and keep in mind that you're in your 20s when you're in college, so it's a great time to be around, right? You're young, you're strong, it is a good time. And by the way, like, let's say you don't come to FIU, which God forbid, right? Go to a different university. I mean, college campuses, think about who was here for the first time today, for the first time coming on this campus. None of you? Okay, you are. Do you remember the first time you did come on this campus, though, or any other college campus? And how exciting that feeling is of like, look at this building and look at all these people walking around and they're all doing things. And I mean, I remember that feeling. That to me, in fact, I was just in Orlando and I went to go look at UCF with one of my kids. I don't want them to go there, but they wanted to go look at that school. And it was still cool. Like, oh my God, look at this campus. Look how exciting. And it's really neat, right? You're part of this institution, this big, humongous animal, this monster of a structure and sort of compound. And you get to be a part of that for a little while. And look, just look around today. When I was walking up in here, they have, I don't know, a bunch of stuff going on, right? There's always something going on. Student life is fantastic. So I agree with you, and 100% break those cycles. And although it's challenging, it's not impossible, and we're evident of that, right? We're evidence of those things, and so are you, just by being here. Have a good time, and I agree with you 100%, because you have to keep your health, right? There's there's going to be these things that challenge you, as right now it's happening in high schools and happening in junior high, well, middle school, right? All these challenges are always going to come. They're not going to stop. So learn how to shield yourself from those things with your values and your decisions. And then for sure, you're going to have a great time when you come to college. College is awesome. I really wish I was 20 back in college. In fact, is there any kind of courses that I can take now?
We always have courses in common. We also offer them online.
And good luck. Good luck to you. Good luck to you all.
Oh, and I want to add something on that. I'm sorry. So we get about the having fun. I forgot to mention, forgive me, Joan, the fraternity and sororities that are on campus. Now, I was one that I was very into sports, and my best friend from high school came to FIU with me, and she said, "Oh, so I'm joining a sorority," and I was like, "Oh, I don't need to buy my friends. Thank you very much." So I played volleyball, and then like a month goes by, and she's like, "So, what are you doing this weekend?" "Well, I'm going to play volleyball on the beach, and then hang out, and maybe go see a friend." I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, we have this great party where everybody dresses up, and then you go here and you go there." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I can't go. No, you can't go. Okay." Next weekend, she's like, "What are you doing this weekend?" I said, "Well, I'm doing volleyball. I'm studying. I'm going to go here." But then, what are you doing? She said, "Well, there's this thing called Date Dash, and we get to pick a boy, and then we go to Disney World, and everybody's in the bus. And okay, well, have fun on your weekend, but you can still join." I was like, okay. Okay. There's so many fun extracurricular things that added to my life here, and yes, I still stayed focused. I still got great grades, but it made it a lot more fun. So I have to mention that because I was totally against it until I joined, and that's something you can explore as well.
All right. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I still have my best friends. Some of my best friends in life came from the sororities. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. We're going to have our first questions from the group at BBC. They're watching us, and they want to ask all the panelists how obtaining your FIU degree, what effect that have in your family now?
We not on welfare. Is that wrong to say? No. Yeah, that's about, we are not poor. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Gomez?
I can mention one thing is my family, they're very proud and they like to brag, but just about me getting the degree, and I just enjoy the joy that it brings them. And that's what makes me really happy, being able to make them proud.
Mm. I have to, it's boring, but I have to say the same. I was going to say that how proud they are that they were able to sacrifice, and they left Cuba in a state where, I mean, they could have stayed, but it was very challenging and communism had taken over. And they said, my mother left when she was 18. She left when she was 18 and she didn't speak English, and she left her whole family and she just went to another country by herself, saying, "I do not want my children to grow up here. They need to have a future." So when that day was very, very important to her, and that my dad has the same story, except he came with family. But yes, the joy that causes them and how proud they are is worth it. I would do it again 20 times over. They're still, even like 20 years later, they're still incredibly proud about it.
Yeah, I agree with both these women, right? But all three of them, really. But to me, it really did make an impact in not just economically. Honestly, economically, it's fantastic. But it's much more than that, because, well, think about the level of people that you end up meeting and what you talk about, right? And what you actually engage with in your free time, and what things you end up valuing, right? That's some of the extra non-economic things that you get out of getting your education and making these friends, because your friends are also going to be doing things, right? They're not just going to be working at Burger King, or they probably own the Burger King, interestingly enough, right? Those are the things that end up happening. And it's not because money's everything, but money does change things because you can do more with it, right? You can do more with it. It's with these is all about decisions, right? It's all about decisions because once you start, you become a game changer. Look, I'm an employer. Remember I said earlier I employ 62 people, and I remember when I left the army and I started working in this business, I couldn't find value in it. I'm a builder. I build the spaces that you're in, and at first I thought, my God, I made a huge mistake. This is God. What's the big deal? We build spaces, and you have no idea how many little details come with what you're sitting in, right? And I used to think this is stupid. And I couldn't find value in it. It makes money, right? Great. But I used to think this is the worst decision I ever made until I started seeing that in my organization, I make sure that 62 families have a place to live. In fact, all my employees, except for one, I'm working on them, are homeowners, right? See, you can make impact. You can make impact because it's not just about the money you make, it's about the things that you know. You start to know more, you start to gain knowledge. You have a network of people, right? I know bankers, I know lawyers, I know this, I know that. I know these people, and I get these people together. It's like a network, right? So that's what ends up happening. At least you can make that happen, right? The education does change your whole entire landscape, everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Many of my students, the ones that are here on the as a panelist and the ones that are around, and you have heard this from me many times. You are obtaining a degree, and when you go home, you have your cousins looking at you. You have your little brother. You have your little sister. You have people at church that are looking at you. And what are they doing? They're like, oh, if Albert can do it, if Tori can do it, if Samantha can do it, I can do it too. So you always have a tremendous influence by obtaining your degree. Even though you're first generation, you are kind of breaking that cycle, right? So I want to also take now questions from the audience. Yes. You have one? You have to use the microphone so people at BBC can.
Hi guys. I resonate with
Is that on?
okay. I resonated with all of your stories. Specifically your mother speaking into existence that you're gonna go to college, you making sure that you work hard. And for you, it's your mother seeing your mother work hard. I actually teared up when you did. There are days when she comes home from work and it's like comes home from work and she gets really tired and then I sit there and sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough because I know how hard she worked. Like I was born in Haiti, just like she was, and then she came here. I came when I was 10. And sometimes I feel like I'm not pushing it to myself enough. So how do you balance yourself with pushing yourself but also not putting pressure on yourself to the point where you feel like you can't do enough? And how do you stay motivated? I know one of my motivations is my mother, but every now and then I do get like I do feel like I'm not enough or I feel like I'm not doing it. How do you guys find that balance?
That's guilt. Number one is recognizing that guilt serves no purpose. When we choose to feel guilty about something, it is our way of feeling like we're doing something. It's a waste of energy. But then you're speaking into existence that you feel like you're not worthy. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be doing nothing other than what you are doing. So the very best thing you can do for yourself is to release the guilt. Yes, she is exhausted. Mine worked 3 jobs with 4 children, 2 of them before she was 18. So she was paying a price. She was exhausted, and we regularly saw her exhausted. It was the motivation. It was the drive. My mother right now lives a very comfortable life because me and my sister and my brother, we are able to provide and give to her. So you're not in a position to do that now, but you are doing what you need to do right now to position yourself to do that, because the sacrifices our parents make for us are just crazy. And I see it day in and day out with the kids we're working with, and the sacrifice the parents that make. Don't take it for granted. Do your part.
Thank you. I would say Thank you. That was excellent. And I really would say just show her that you're thankful, that you're grateful. Say thank you, mom. Tell her that. Like what you said, I feel like I'm not doing enough. She's gonna be like, oh, stop. You know, this is the position that she's doing that for you, and she's proud to do that. My mother was it was scary, but she left and she was proud, and she always speaks of like, I did it for you and for the blah, blah. And she gains pride, and she's very she doesn't look back on it like saying, oh, it was so difficult, I can't believe she the fruit of what she did. So don't feel guilty. You just have to be as good as you are for what you're doing, stay focused, but you also have to have fun, and you have to not really take it upon yourself to take all that pressure, because that's not good for you. It doesn't serve a purpose. You gotta, I would say, just to find your peace and happiness and joy in what you're doing and your goals and what you want to accomplish, and find the joy in it and be very thankful. Show your mom your gratefulness. Really just say it, give her a hug, tell her, mommy worked so hard, wait till you see what I'm going to do for you, and after that, and you won't have to work like this, and you make it fun, and she's going to love it, and even that is going to be healing for her. You're going to give her energy like that.
But don't tell her she's not going to have to work, because then they hold you to that. Look, remember I told you about my mom has no high school, no nothing, right? But I just, real quick, while I was talking, I was counting how many graduations she's been to. She's been to 11 high school graduations. This is all from her line, right? 6 bachelor's degrees and 2 masters. That's what she holds, right? So look, that's what it's like to be. That's part of the story of being an immigrant here, right? You come here and you work hard. It takes 1, maybe 2 generations to make it this country, or you don't make it, right? That's you. So what are you gonna do? Listen, you gotta just do what you gotta do. Work hard every day. Do the things that we're talking about. Do the things that you believe are right. All right, and it's all gonna fall into place, man. It's guaranteed. The fact that you feel that way, I agree. Don't feel guilty, man. My mom is great at making you feel guilty, but I don't feel guilty at all. My lady is retired. She doesn't work. She doesn't know anything. She's good to go. And you know what? If you do the right things, your lady's gonna be good to go too. All right, that's what. One day you'll be a parent, maybe, and you'll see that no matter what area you get. Look at this woman to the right. You know. Would you agree that she's the pinnacle of success, right? And she works 70 hours a week, and her kids are here. They see her probably, it's all relative, right? They probably see her like, my God, my mom works her butt off. And she does. It's all relative. So imagine what you can be doing. Feel bad for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate having what I describe as a transparent panelist. Additional questions here from the audience. The staff can also questions, concerns, comments. Any comments about?
I can definitely say a comment and just really thank you, all of you guys. I started working at FIU about a year ago, and it's whatever you guys say. It's a place that has so much opportunities. There's something going on every day, and even I, as an employee, I try to take advantage of all the opportunities that I have. And what they're saying also, it's like, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are a lot of strangers that would be willing to help you, and definitely thank you. Like all of you guys made my day.
Thank you. I also would like to thank our colleagues at BBC. I know Dr. DeSantis and Jose Filpo. They're holding the fort for us there. We have 2 big campuses, so we need to streamline and connect both campuses. I also would like to again thank all the panelists and the students and every person that is here today in this celebration. There is more food available, and please do not leave today without having your picture taken there in our beautiful Be Worlds Ahead Step and Repeat, and we have first generation prompt there. Thank you very much.
Hey, let me just give, what's it called, a shout out? Yeah, it's called a shout. I'm going to give it to Dr. Cruz here. What a great mediator. Huh?